Can you open up your own prison? Thank you. I think this is creating your own private prison. Can you open up your own prison? Thank you.
Can you open up your own prison? I'm not gonna lie. My sister and her boyfriend once did an entire musical based on doing this.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, opening up their own prison because they.
Is it a famous?
No, they wrote it.
They wrote a musical, an entire musical.
They improvised it. A whole musical about creating your own prison.
You improvise an entire musical sometimes?
So the thing about this situation is, are you making it because you want to rehabilitate all of the people that have done wrong and you think everybody deserves a second chance and you're a good-hearted soul? Or because there are a lot of people that you just kind of hate and bitch about in life and you kind of want to put them behind bars?
If you create your own prison, going along with that, do you get to create your own rules?
Yeah.
Is it your own laws that let you dictate who gets thrown in prison?
Like, think about all the different prison rules already. There's already rules of, like, celebrities get special treatment, so they're, like, fancier prisons where it's really just rehabilitation center, where you're just, like, kind of in jail, but really on a resort for the rest of your life. Then there's the prison that everyone thinks is all prison in film, which is everyone gets stabbed at least twice a day, and drugs are mandatory, and also everyone's more ripped than the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, get in line for your daily stabbings, please.
And then there are the varieties of odd movies, like the Human Centipede one, where that's apparently a rule at the prison.
Is that in prison?
There's at least one where that's in prison.
Oh, that's a personal prison. That's a man-made prison. Hopefully that's not what question asker Jake Edwards is leaning towards.
Jake, that's unfortunately something you could do if you created your own prison. Also, we have created our own prison in the podcast. Do you remember this?
Was it the magician prison, or is it just the metaphorical prison that we put in ourselves in by creating this podcast?
Both. We talked about if a prison was made of all these magicians that wanted to escape prison, so they forcibly put themselves in prison. And hey, you can make up your own rules at any point in time. Will, what's a rule you would throw out there if you ran a prison? It was your prison, Will's prison.
Okay, I'd get rid of the jumpsuits. I'd get rid of the jumpsuits completely. I think that you are forced to dress from the era in which the rule you broke was created in. I'm sticking to it.
Wow. So if you arrest a witch...
If I arrest somebody for witchcraft, they will be put in medieval Dungeons and Dragons-esque garb. Yes. It's a fun game, because then you get to guess each time. Instead of everybody wearing the same thing, you get into your new cell with your new prison mate, and there's like, what are you in for? No, that doesn't happen, because it's just like you see them, knows. Somebody's in, a knight's suit of armor, and you're like, oh boy, let me guess, you committed high treason, or you were committed of witchcraft. I mean, witchcraft, I suppose you would just be put in a witch's costume. That would make the most sense. You'd be given a broom, but it's made of rubber, so you can't make it into a shiv.
Right, and you also can't fly away, because you can't have that during recess.
It's a non-flying broom as well, yes.
Yeah, make sure that you can't, because that would be too easy. If we gave you a flying broom, you just fly away out during the recreational time.
And then we're right back to the magicians in the prison situation.
Yeah.
Yes, so here's the other thing. If you had your own prison, I forgot to ask you, what rule would you employ, or what will you get rid of?
Only babies.
Only babies in prison completely?
Yes. And
that sounds problematic now.
No, it's fine. And here's why. No problem.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
Only babies. Babies that cry on planes, gotta go to prison. My bad.
Oh, immediate imprisonment, yes.
Babies that anytime that you try and put a birthday hat on them and they throw it off, gotta go to prison. That's littering, you little idiot. Babies that anytime you say, do you want to do this, and they won't stop saying no, that prison sentence for you.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm going to be very honest. They are going to start gangs. They are going to get tattoos. They are going to become very violent.
It will become an amazing drama series that we will all profit off of It is Baby Boss inspired.
We will allow one two-handed great sword to be thrown into the
Per
mix.
baby. Yeah. Oh, just for all the babies. Okay.
Yes. So it's one two-handed great sword. Since they are babies, they will have to find little groups and work together in order to wield the two-handed great sword.
To lift and drop on the enemies. Yes.
And this is very important. You know, obviously, it's punishable if you kill or harm any prisoner in prison. If you harm or kill them with the two-handed greatsword, you're totally off the hook.
You're released.
That is, yes, you actually get freed from. That's your way out. Is you have to fight for your freedom. And could you imagine how great your childhood story would be? Just think about how great. Yeah.
Now this is some new age draconic fight to the death sort of baby gladiator situation. Will there be
exactly
cameras? Will this be televised? Is that how the revenue comes in?
Only televised during recreational time. Yes. Very important to mention, no parents allowed at all. No visiting hours. That's rude. Because you don't want to interfere with them getting ready for battle. If they remember their loved ones, they're not going to fight as well, because then they're going to be worried and there's going to be panicking. They're like, oh, my parents are watching. Great. Goo goo gaga. All of that good baby stuff.
Yes.
Now, the loser does get a complimentary bottle. Just a bottle of warm milk. Well, they bleed out. That's
in their last few moments. I love that we've spiraled into can you start your own prison to baby, I don't know, friendly fire sort of idea.
Question really quick for you, Will, about the death penalty.
Oh, no.
Within your prison, a death row, because we all know what the death penalty is within baby prison. That's fine, but for you, Will, do people get death row dependent on their era as well?
I think it's very much a punishment for the crime sort of thing. I think we're foolish to ever move past the idea that parents should be punishing based on the crime. If a child says shut up, then you put soap in their mouths. But
so is the punishment to stitch their mouths shut within prison?
That's it. That's actually it. And that is my answer to death penalty. So my last a follow-up with this is that do you get to decide who gets arrested? I mean, obviously the babies, yes, but if you were just theoretically to start your own prison,
theoretically, I personally, everywhere I went, I would handpick every baby that went into my prison.
So really, if people just avoid you, that would be the issue,
yes.
Right? People would avoid you like the plague, and you'd live a life of isolation.
Babies will have a hard time avoiding me. I promise you this.
Okay, that's fair. But if the parents recognize you for who you are, will they also avoid you?
They'll say, oh, that's Zane, the man that owns his own prison, and will throw my child in prison.
He will take your newborn baby and throw it into a gladiator prison. That is what he does. That is where he gets off.
The thing that's very important to point out here is some parents will realize how strong and brave and heroic their babies will become and will hand over their baby.
I love that part. That's my favorite part of the what's it called? Catching Fire, Hunger Games. When people are just kind of sent off and being like, "I'm so proud of you. Go kill it." And knowing that there's a 1 in 16 chance or something that they'll come back alive, being like, well, this could be a great character. This could be an amazing character building opportunity. And I think that's what most of the families were thinking.
Hey, they might even turn this into a movie someday. You don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It would make great reality TV, to be quite honest, watching the babies. It's like the Puppy Bowl, except just slightly shifted in a different direction.
Yeah, I think the best part about this is if you make your own prison, along with all these rules that we have discussed, where you can make it a babies-only prison, an era-dependent prison, a magician's prison, whatever you want. You also you can pick whoever you want, because you could arrest someone just by choice. That's it, just by choice. You could see someone and say, hey, come with me to my prison, you're gone for life now, and they'd say, why? And you'd say, that's the rules in my prison. Rule number 1, if I say you're in prison, too bad, so sad.
And you don't throw a fit. Yeah, Jake, if you open up your own prison, start a fundraiser, I'll donate. Let me know.